You've completed your 200-hour yoga teacher training, and now what? The first things to do, the practical things, are to make sure you get your insurance and to do things like your consent form, disclaimer form, PARQ, so forms that your students fill out to make sure you're covered and that everyone stays safe. So your insurance, you can look out there and look at other insurance providers. I use Balance and have done for years. I can put a link in the description if you want to start there. They are an amazing insurance company that have done holistic services for many years, and they're really, really reasonable. So first of all, you want to make sure you've got your insurance and you've got your 200-hour certificate. And with those two things, depending on whether it's a UK or wherever you have trained, if it covers there or if it's a globally recognized qualification, if you have your insurance and your certificate, you can teach anywhere in the world or wherever your certificate allows you to teach. So you've got those two things, you can now go out there and teach. Other things that are great to have straight off is forms for your new students to fill out. So disclaimer and a consent form, and PARQ is physical activity readiness questionnaire. So any exercise and anything, exercise, yoga, in that work, you would fill out a PARQ form. So if you started a yoga studio or gym, you would fill out a PARQ form, which you would have come across before. It's things like, do you have any heart problems, joint problems, dizziness, those kind of things. You can find these online. I'm sure you can find some versions of this on the internet that you can have a look. And another thing you can do is, if you want to approach yoga studios, is also create a yogi cover letter and CV, something that's really relevant to share with yoga studios. And of course, you can give that to gyms as well. So with those things, you can start getting out there, making those connections and getting on yoga cover lists. So getting on lists where they're teaching yoga classes, so that if a teacher is ill or can't make a class, you're on their cover list. A cover list is usually like a WhatsApp group. So if you're on WhatsApp and someone says like, can anyone do 6 p.m. this evening? It's really like whoever jumps on first. So it's that kind of thing now with a cover list. So if you want to get on cover list, that's a really great way to get your foot in the door with a gym or a studio. And then once you get a good working relationship and a spot comes up for a regular class, you'll be their first person to ask. That's how I've got a lot of classes and how I know a lot of other people have got a lot of classes. It's a really good way to get into a busy studio or busy gym. Other things you can start doing as a yoga teacher, if you want to be online, is to create an Instagram page and a Facebook page. And the reason why I say this is because they're free tools that you can use. So instead of going straight to investing in a website, unless you want to, of course you can. If you know how to do them, great. But something that's really free and easy and accessible is creating a Facebook business page, not a community or a personal page, a business page, because it gives you different things you can do on Facebook. Sometimes it can be limited if you started off as a community and then you want to change to a business page later. So a business page just makes it much easier to share your services and share things. It's a bit like I think of the Instagram and the Facebook as a bit like a free website and a bit like your shop window on the internet. So you only share what you want to, and it's not something you have to do. Remember that. If you want to be a yoga teacher that is not online, that's also absolutely fine. Your people will find you. So don't worry about that. But if you want to do that, then it's free. And so Instagram, Facebook, you can think about your business name. You can think about your logo. You can get some photos done of yourself. So a friend or a family member could take some photos of you. And I know it feels really scary at first, and it did for me, but a photo of your face is like, when people come across you on the internet, that's what they're going to kind of connect with. Like a friendly smiley face is what they're going to connect with, rather than, for example, a picture of a lotus. That doesn't really tell anyone about you and your business. And when it comes to yoga teaching, and what people are looking for is really connecting with the teacher. So a picture of your face somewhere is a reassurance that that's who they're going to connect with when they come to look at doing classes with you or other offerings with you. So a Facebook and Instagram page is a good idea to have a free online shop front. And then with your social media, you can build up things that you want to share to help others. You can share obviously your classes and your offerings, and just a place where you might put all your class information and whatever you're offering. So if anyone comes across you, or if you get recommended by a friend and they send your profile, in one place they can see everything you're offering. To get more yoga classes, along with connecting with your local gyms and yoga studios, is you can connect with community centres, village halls, any local community spaces where you live. They might be running classes that you might be able to teach with them or go on cover lists, or you might start your own classes up. So if that's something you're interested in, start looking at all the spaces in your area, look at the price of their hourly rate, how many people you could fit in a class, how much you would have to charge per person to make the hourly rate that you want to make. So that's another way to build up your classes in your area. And when it comes to thinking about where you really want to teach, if there is a gym or a studio that you really want to teach at, I really recommend attending their classes, making connections and relationships with that place, and then just getting to know them. And through that, it's very likely you'll get asked to do cover and eventually teach there. And lastly, as a new yoga teacher, is really connect with your yoga community. So where you live, seek out other yogis, maybe seek out other new yoga teachers. And going to yoga classes, you're going to find other yogis. So really connect with your community where you live. You might also connect with an online community, and also whoever you did your 200-hour teacher training or whatever foundational yoga teacher training or any other trainings you've done, connect with them. Connect with them for support, for inspiration, for encouragement when you're feeling, not as brave as you'd like. And accountability. If you're sharing with say you've got a WhatsApp group where you did your 200 hours, you can be sharing like, I'm gonna reach out to the community hall this week to ask them the hourly rate. And I'm sure everyone's there is going to be so encouraging and supportive. So yeah, find out where you want to work, connect with your yoga community and get out there. I hope that helps. And if you have any other questions, please let me know.